don't think so.
Turret out.
Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy, Veteran Gamer, and with 2022 well underway, it's time to take a look at my personal favorite first-person shooter, Valorant, and the current state of the game in 2022, and why you should be playing it this year.
Scanning ahead. I am the hunter!
Essentially, there are 4 reasons why you should be playing Valorant in 2022, and I'm going to break it down for you. The first reason is game balance. The overall state of Valorant in 2022 is in a pretty good balanced state. I mean, for an average player, any agent across any map is viable for the most part. It is only when you reach to the highest levels of play where there is 1 or 2 agents that are considered to be overpowered and need to be nerfed. But aside from that, the overall balance of the game is in a very good spot. The balance is actually catered towards the maps and the way the maps are designed. Essentially, if you take a character like Raze is very good on a map like Split or Bind, where it's small, very corridory, and allows her to use her utility to clear corners and push in for your team. Whereas if you try to use her on a map like Breeze, for example, that map has large, wide open spaces where her utility doesn't get much value, so it's clear that she is stronger on a smaller map, but weaker on a larger map. And this is across the entire game and across all the agents. Some agents are good on some maps and bad on others. That is how Valorant is currently balanced and why it's in such a good state. This is also why when you watch it, in terms of the high level play and the professional play, you will see some agents have a ridiculously high pick rate on one map, but basically be non-existent in another. This is how the game is balanced, and it's done very, very well. As an average Joe and an everyday player, it's great because no matter who you like to use, you have a fair shot of doing well because of how the game is balanced. The second reason is content. We all know that when it comes to a live service game, you need a full stream of content to keep players engaged. And unlike other FPS titles, Valorant does a fantastic job of this. Not only do you get a new agent and or map every 2 months, but every 2 weeks there is a new slew of cosmetics in the store, you have a battle pass, and the game gets balanced patches every 2 weeks. Essentially, this game is constantly being updated on a regular basis and it keeps the game fresh. With the 2-month interval between actual significant content like an agent and a map, it actually allows players to get into the game, get accustomed to the new content, and just as it starts to get stale, bam, they add in another piece of content to spice up the game. The third reason why Valorant is really good is developer communication. For the most part, Riot is very forthcoming when it comes to communicating with the community. Whether that's done through interviews or blog posts, they're very open in what they're trying to do with the game and when things are being done. Case in point, the Yoru rework that is supposed to be already out was communicated to us that they were delaying it, and then they also communicating to us that they were going to take time off and things of that nature. They are very forthcoming with the communication, and which is very important for a community to be well aware of what's going on and when things can come and what to expect. The fourth and final reason why you should be playing this game is the cheaters, or should I say, lack thereof. While Riot Vanguard, which is the anti-cheat for Valorant, is very controversial in that it runs on a kernel level, and personally I know people who refuse to play this game because of it, it's safe to say that they're messing out. When I look at other games such as Halo that is having an outbreak of cheaters, and then I come to Valorant and I realize that there's little to no cheaters, it's clear to say that the anti-cheat works very well and does what it's supposed to do. Not only does the anti-cheat make it incredibly difficult for cheaters to get in the game, but Riot also has a hardware ban policy. Essentially, if you are convicted of cheating, your hardware will be banned. So creating a new account doesn't work. This is the kind of thing that mitigates cheaters while maintaining competitive integrity. And when you're trying to sell your game as an esport and you want people to play ranked and rank up, having and maintaining competitive integrity is very important in a game like this. It is well known and well documented that Valorant has the lowest amount of cheaters of any FPS. So when you package these 4 reasons in combination with the fact that the game is also free to play, I mean, there is very little reasons to not play Valorant. Valorant to me is the perfect FPS, or as close to perfect as you can get. If you don't know what it is from the footage, it is essentially Valorant with, or should I say CS, with a sprinkle of Overwatch. But this game is the embodiment of what an esports FPS game should be. Halo's all the rage right now, and everyone's talking about Halo. I personally like Halo, but there is, without question, a concern with things like cheaters. There's a question of concern with progression, as well as when you can expect new content to be arriving. When playing a game like Valorant, and you know that every 2 months you get a new piece of content, you know that developers communicate well, you know that the anti-cheat works, and you don't see many cheaters, I mean, it's hard not to recommend this game to anyone. Valorant in 2022 is the best first-person shooter on the market, bar none, in my opinion. It was the best first-person shooter in 2021 in terms of ongoing. It wasn't released in 2021, but it is the best overall in 2021, and it is currently the best in 2022. And if you're an aspiring pro player, this might be the game to do it. To me, Valorant and Riot, what they've done with this game, they've continued to grow. It continues to be popular. It does very well on Twitch. It does very well in terms of player count. You never have an issue finding a game. I mean, this is the same company that does League of Legends, for crying out loud, and that is the most popular esports game in the world. So it goes to show you that if they can do that with League of Legends, where can Valorant go in the future? Who knows? The sky's the limit for Valorant. I personally am a big advocate for this game, and I think that this is definitely the first-person shooter that you should be playing in 2022. This is Veteran Gamer, and I hope to see you guys next time.
Spike planted.